But because it's unbalanced, we try to not run these cables at great lengths. So a general rule around here is that we try to stay under 20 feet for an instrument cable. Now we do have them longer than 20 feet. We only use them when we have no other option. But if we do go above 20 feet, then we might start to notice that we get some high frequencies that kind of roll off because it's high impedance. That plus the high capacitance that we would get with a longer cable, that would kind of start to roll some of our high frequencies off. And once you hear it, you'll know, and then you'll try your best to avoid those circumstances. Now, if we are running an instrument cable to great lengths, sometimes our best bet is to try to turn it into that balanced microphone cable. And the way that we could do that is with a DI box. I have a DI box right here, and it's got a bunch of connectors on it and buttons on it, and they do different things. But a DI box can be very simple. It can have an input, and then it can have an output. What this box does, although it has a lot of bells and whistles on here, in its simplest form, a DI box has a transformer on the inside of it. It will transform a high impedance, unbalanced signal to a low impedance, balanced signal, and it will come out on an XLR connector. This part can run at greater lengths than that maybe 20-foot or less instrument cable that we plugged into here. And it has the benefit of traveling balanced. If it does incur any interference, once it gets to its inverting amplifier, it'll do that trick with the microphone signal. So the great thing about this DI box now is that we're more or less converting that instrument signal into a microphone signal. We have balanced it, which we know we get a benefit from when running at long distances, but we've also converted it into a low impedance signal. And all we really need to know about that at this point is that if we have a low impedance signal and it's running a long distance, which might mean that we have an elevated capacitance on that cable at a long distance, that those two things don't really combine as poorly as a high impedance signal with a long cable, where now we can start losing some of our high frequencies. So we get the benefit of maybe being able to cancel out any interference, and we get to retain all of our tone until it gets to that next stop on the journey.